Okay, so here we go, and here we have Sandy. Hi, Sandy.
Hello.
Welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Now, see, we just messed up. I didn't start recording this, so this is my fault. So now we're going through round 2 of this. But now she's warmed up, so she knows what she's going to say, right?
A little bit.
So is it a little easier now?
Yes.
Because you were nervous because you said you don't want to talk in front of people.
Yes.
And I said,
there's nobody here.
see? There's no one here.
But
It's just me. Except just like the billions of people around the world are going to watch this.
This is awesome.
And say, look at how shy that girl is. Why is she talking up? I can't hear her. Okay, so we're talking about, this is all about creative people, and you are definitely a creative person. And what has brought you down the path? What is your creative outlet?
My creative outlet is just to find myself. And then in doing so, I write poetry and I paint, and it gives me peace. And I also want to help others. So it's my process now is more to like bring out who I am, and then to help others get through any trauma that they've gone through as well.
And saying you want to help others, how do you do that with your creativity?
A lot comes out in my poetry for them, like mainly, but I went through a pretty traumatic divorce, a lot of cheating and abuse. So showing that you can be somebody else and that you can voice yourself and set your boundaries and become somebody is really important.
That's cool that you took a negative and turned it into something positive, because like sometimes you wonder, do we go through things in life just so we can help others out? You know, I think that sometimes, you know, because I've been through some things in my life, and when I look back and I say, I made it through it, so here, let me help you get through this. And people have done that for me. So that's cool that you're doing that. And we were talking about that you graduated from SDSU with the
major in professional and fine arts.
I thought it was, well, was that, you said a bachelor's. Is that
bachelor,
the same thing?
Yeah, bachelor.
Okay, I said, and I don't know what that is. So I don't understand what a bachelor
Basically,
does.
I'm an artist. So
That's what a bachelor, okay.
Yeah, I emphasize in graphic design, but
do you have a diploma to be an artist?
I do. I have a diploma to be an artist.
That's right. See, I didn't even graduate high school, and I never took a class and never did anything.
It's just a step.
But it's cool.
Yeah.
Has it gotten you jobs?
With the graphic design part, yeah. I've gotten a lot of jobs.
And so what are you proficient in the graphic arts?
Photoshop and Illustrator. So I kind of like doing a lot of print work. I worked for a big print shop in San Diego, which they just got bought over. So
what did you do in that position, in that job?
Yeah, I was pretty much their project manager for the whole art department.
So you had artists underneath you? Mm-hmm. So would you go through and look at their stuff and go, I don't think so? No.
Just making sure the jobs got out the door.
Oh, yeah.
But since then, I've just been working a lot on, finding who I am and seeing what art comes up.
Have you found yourself?
Still looking.
Yeah. I think it's a lifelong journey.
Yes, it's lifelong.
Going through your art, has there been any times when it's like been a painful experience?
Oh yeah, there's been ups and downs, but it's really the light side of my life that I want to bring out, and how that healing has helped, and just that overcoming any darkness that you have in your life, you can always overcome it.
I know, not trying to be too nosy. So you said, was the divorce the hardest thing you had to overcome?
The divorce, yeah, and not having my daughter around all the time, that it takes a toll on you.
When let's say if you don't have her around, is that when you find yourself being most like doing something creative, or would you sometimes just like curl up in a ball and not want to do anything?
Oh, both.
Yeah.
But I think not having her around and trying to find myself, I've gone off and I've like gone to the beach more and just like really try to center myself and balance myself and really dig deep into who I am and where I want to go.
Have you talked to other people about what you're going through and finding people with similar stories?
Oh, yeah. There's mirrors of me everywhere now. I'm starting to see more people pop up. I've taken life coaching classes to like really, dig deeper into who I am. And it's amazing how connected we all are and where we're going. And,
Okay, what is a life coaching class?
Life coaching class. I went through a seminar called WorldWorks, and they pretty much put you where you need to be. So you go through like an intro class of figuring out who you are. It's like opening up your awakeness of the people around you and connecting with people, and it's I can't even explain it, but it's
Okay,
like
so,
everybody should have to go through it.
Well, here's the thing. This is sometimes I sound very skeptical about things like that, because it sounds like, oh, you got to find yourself. It sounds like some fancy fairy stuff just to like, I don't know.
The little juice under the chair.
Yeah, that's what I want. I mean, did you think that at all going into that, or were you totally like knew this was going to be the right thing, or after you started, you realized it was the real thing?
I had a good in only because my brother had taken it first, and
that's
so
nice.
He was like, "You need to do this."
Yeah.
And I mean, the time that I took it, I was spiraling down in like depression of the divorce and everything. So, I mean, it was 3 years ago, so I was not in a good place, and it totally raised my spirits, found out, hey, I can be strong. I don't need somebody to be strong with. I can do this on my own. I can be who I need to be. I'm committed. I'm, a loving person. And that's all that really matters is, digging deep to see who you are.
Now, did that open up your mind more, to start doing more art projects or?
Yes. Yeah. I think that's where my poetry really started kicking off.
Yeah.
And my first thing was I wanted to like create some coffee shop place where people can come and do art, and I really wanted to like bring out like where people could like sell their art at a coffee shop and like try to.
Do you think people
that.
sell art there?
I've never seen anything being bought.
Exactly, that's what I question.
But I've seen some places that do it. I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
I've had people that say, "Oh, put yourself in a coffee shop." Why? So people can, and like I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they do it for a reason. But number one, I think it's going to get ruined. People are going to not respect it. So I don't know. I could, if people like have coffee shops, they sell it. That's awesome. But
I think Lestat's, they do pretty good there. I've seen things turn around.
Yeah, that's true. Or I wonder if they make them just take it down.
Or that.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed there's a lot of artwork on the wall of Lestat's. And I remember I was in this one little like, it was like a diner. It must have been from like 70s. It was a throwback. I loved it. It was just like super old school. I swear the lady still smoked the way just, she called you darling and stuff like that. And there was artwork on the wall that was like so dusty and it had price tags on it. And I asked her, well, you ever sold anything on here? She goes, I don't think so.
Maybe it was to inspire somebody else though. So there's,
No, that's like I said, there's definitely always a reason for that. Like I love art everywhere. I mean, it's obvious. I do so much art of my own that I have stacks of it that people never see because I like to sell my work. It's fun, but I say it's an itch I have to scratch. So when I do something like I just need to make something, and I go through phases like I paint, I'll do a lot of paintings, then I'll do woodwork, and then I'll do furniture, and then I write a lot too. So I mean, how nervous are you to let people read your thoughts? That's the most nervous thing if people want to read it. Like, look at my paintings, and like, look at it. But writing is so personal.
You know what? I'd rather have people read my poetry than to speak.
That's than speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because I've taken even like a speaking class, and it's still, I don't know what it is.
Do you get nervous if you had to go in front of the class?
Yeah, I get nervous. Yeah, but it's still just another way to connect. So I need to not be nervous.
Okay, what about one-on-one with people if you're helping them like with problems? I bet like you totally shine with that, huh?
No, I'm fine with that.
Because you took a class,
I took a class.
Now, did you get a diploma for that too?
Yeah, I got a little certificate.
Wow, how many certificates you got? All right, anything. I'm gonna start making my own certificates.
I survived is the certificate.
How long was the class?
So the first class is like 5 days, and then another class is like 5 days.
Yeah. So. And do you remember a lot of it?
Do I remember? Yeah, I've actually gone back on my notes just to like reread what I went through and what I was writing and just, everything that was coming up.
And is that how we got to this book?
This book definitely is produced from a lot of the things I went through the last 3 years. So 3 years of poetry.
Okay, when did you start the book?
I started it pretty much in January of 2016.
What inspired you to pick up the pencil? And do you write with a pencil or do you write on a computer?
A little bit of both.
I can't do it on a computer.
It's harder to do. It's easier to do notes.
Oh,
so I usually have
it.
notes like in my backpack. I have a little notebook. But I've always kind of written poetry, like in high school and stuff. And I noticed like kind of through 14 years of marriage, I stopped writing. I stopped doing art. I stopped doing things that I love. I stopped being me.
Yeah.
So like being me again has been amazing. Like finding myself.
Do you know who Anne Rice is?
Yes.
Well, okay, like not many, some people do, but like, she's an incredible, well-known author. And my mom owns a drapery business, and we made the drapes in Anne Rice's house.
Oh, wow.
Because she lived in La Jolla for a while. And I'm like, I got to go on this job, because I love, that was, that's an incredible, like, artist. Mm-hmm. And so we went there, and she was very sweet and very nice. I think the coolest thing I saw, though, besides meeting her, is that by her bedside was just like a little desk, and she writes by hand. And it's her notes and stuff like that. I'm sitting there staring at them. That is like masterpiece right there. Yep. And then the funny thing about it, though, I have a friend, humongous Anne Rice fan, and she gave me her copy of Interview with the Vampire. And she goes, will you get this signed? I said, I will ask first, because, you never want to go into someone else and say, could I have your autograph? But I asked my mom first, and she said, well, talk to the decorator. So I talked to the decorator, and I said, hey, if this is possible, could you get Anne to sign this? And he goes, oh, of course. It's like a decorator we've worked with. So I'm all, thank you so much. So he gives it, and he comes back. He goes, here you go. And I read it, and she signed it to Jody. And I'm all, and it was my friend's book. I said, I got good news and I got bad news. I got Anne signed the book, but it's to me. So I have a copy of Anne Rice's book.
Awesome.
So like when I write, I can't write on a computer. It has to be like I like to take notes. I like to write things down because I have so many ideas. And people say, get one of those voice recorders. I'm all, I don't want to do that. I want to look at notes and see ideas. And, a voice recorder, you're only have one, focus line, it's that one thing. Notes are awesome. So I get that.
Yeah. I have like notes and then like doodles all over it.
Exactly. But that's the fun stuff too. You look at that, those pieces are so valuable to me, those just handwritten ones. But then you turn them into books. So you started in 2016, and what was the process of getting to this?
It was a super long process, because at first I was just gonna, just have a book out, but then I really started to notice the difference of the dark poems I was having through some of the dark times I was having, and then there was a super flip of like healing poems and just, bringing peace to people and to myself, obviously. But so yeah, the darkness consumes, and then it flips to light and powers. So you definitely have to like not only read one side, but you have to actually flip it upside down to see the other side.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I wanted people to know it's a totally different side. Your darkness is not who you are. Your light is who you are. So you can't read it the same.
Now, when you were writing the light and the dark, like inspirations, did they go back and forth, or once you're done with the dark, was it all light?
It went back and forth for a while, but probably the last year it was more light, more healing, more, finding peace and stuff with all I've been through.
And so have people read some of these poems? Have you put them out there yet? Because, you're launching this book, right?
Yes. It is in the printing phase at this moment.
How does that feel?
Oh, it was amazing just picking up the rough draft. So
yeah,
I'm really excited to see it all printed. So
that is a really exciting process to work on something that long and then hold it in your hand,
Yeah.
So, okay, when's it coming out?
I don't know when I'm going to have the final version yet, but I just sent it to the printer today. Is like,
oh, okay, really?
It's like ready to go.
That is cool.
So it's in the process.
Do you have any idea?
Hopefully within a week.
Do you have
pretty fast.
Any distribution set up?
I don't have distribution yet set up. I am trying to get on Amazon and get it printed through there, and then hopefully do a Kindle. But with the Kindle, I'm going to have it as 2 separate books because it goes upside down. So
just flip your Kindle.
A little bit harder to do electronically.
No, they would.
Yeah.
Because even if you submit it and say this is on purpose, so they have to flip their Kindle, it could be the same thing. Oh. Yeah. Because they have their self-writing. They have that accelerometer inside that lets you know exactly which position a book is in. It's like your phone, Mm-hmm. It'll flip it for you, so you still do it.
Oh, I might just have to contact Amazon and find out.
I mean, it's a fun little niche because, mm-hmm. That stuff sells. People talk about that, because, there's a million books, there's a million paintings, there's a million everything. You have a little something cool about it. Maybe some people talk about it, or they go, "I hate that. Why do I have to flip the book?" So maybe you don't want to do that.
It's a little bit harder.
Have you got any feedback on this?
I haven't really shown it off too much yet, the whole book. I mean, just little pieces I put on my Facebook page. I have an art by Sandy Joy on Facebook. So I have a few things on there, but I didn't want to put too much just so that people actually want to buy the book and not just read on Facebook.
And what has been the reaction to the stuff you've put out there?
I've gotten a lot of compliments, so And a lot of times I'm like, hey, I'm putting stuff on Facebook. Please let me know what you think. Good, bad. I want to hear it all. And I've only heard good things, but
no negative feedback.
I have a lot of good friends. No, nothing negative yet.
Yeah, because sometimes, like my friends, I have, we're all blessed. I'm blessed with friends, and they say, "Oh, I love it." I'm like, "Oh, are they just being biased? Or they want to be nice?" Because sometimes, like, it's good to hear negative feedback. Because you got to be, pessimistic about some things. And like when I created Blink, it's like, people are, it's great. And then some people brought up what about this? I'm like, I never thought of that, and it's not, if it's truly done with like love, want to give you good advice. And I think it's great.
Yeah. Some of my darker pieces, like my brother's like, maybe you don't put those on just, for your daughter. Not to
What was so
them.
dark about it?
It was mainly showing like some of the abuse I went through, or, the cheating that happened and stuff. So she was like, she doesn't want to, don't put those on social media. So I took those off just to
but are they still in the book?
They are in the book, yes. Yeah, they're full on in the book.
Okay, do you like who you are right now?
Yes.
So I like myself. I'm very blessed. I'm thankful for what I have, and like I've had some rough stuff in my life, but I would never change anything because the journey I've gone through has brought me to where I'm at now. Exactly. And I really like that. Do you feel that same way?
Oh yeah, everything I went through. I mean, I've had to thank my ex. I'm like, thank you. Whatever happened for a reason, and I have found so much more of myself now. So,
and that's a healthy way to feel about it,
amazing.
And that's a sad part. Some people don't see that. They're stuck as being the victim, and they don't learn from it. And that's when you're truly a victim, when you don't learn from something.
Yeah, I've gone through that whole victim stage, and I was like, this is not who I am. I'm like, I'm such a loving person. I can't be this way.
So you're back to being a loving person?
Yes. Easy to be a loving person.
All right, so then what's next? Now you did this book. You're going to get that out. Sure you have tons of ideas.
Well, I'm going to do an art show. So my first full-on art show. I've been on like a couple art shows here and there in San Diego, but I've never had my own. Okay,
so in these art shows, did you sell any pieces?
I have sold a few.
Original pieces or prints?
Original pieces.
Really?
So
and that feel awesome.
Yeah, my first one being sold was pretty awesome, but it was definitely it was for a friend, and she's amazing, and it was for, it had her child's autistic, and so it had the blue heart and
awesome,
spreading love and stuff. So
and that was a painting?
It was a painting.
Very cool.
It was awesome to do something for her, and kind of supporting that whole organization as well.
Cool. Okay, so you got a show coming up yourself?
I do have a show coming up. I'm not sure when yet, but hopefully this summer.
I mean, do you have an idea where you want to do it? Do you have things planned out?
I have an idea, and I actually just met somebody, so they kind of said, I want to show your art, and I don't know how firm that commitment is yet, but I'm hoping it goes through, and it might be in Laguna Beach. So,
ooh, that's the place.
I'm hoping everything goes through with that one.
So, like, as you say, I'm working on putting a gallery together, and that's the whole deal with the T-shirts. And it's going to be focused on art and T-shirts. I'm going to have 4 artists at a time. So it's something I'm working on. So I know exactly how hard it is to try and get stuff going, because I think the world is better with art in it.
It is. It's better. A lot of people have lost it, but we all have it in us.
Totally. I think everyone's a creative person, no matter what outlet it is. There's so many different ways. Everyone has ideas. And I just hope they find a way to tap into it, get into that.
Yep.
That's awesome. You're doing a lot of stuff.
Trying.
Okay, so now, as I said, part of this, so did you bring a T-shirt?
I did bring a T-shirt.
What do you got?
I brought a Supergirl T-shirt.
Supergirl?
So, this is the shirt I brought.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you saw the plan, so you get to go pick through the rack of over 200 shirts.
That now?
Huh? Yeah, let's go do that now. So I'll go over there. So.
Oh my gosh.
So now you get to pick one for yourself, for your Supergirl shirt.
The trust me, I'm a superhero. That's awesome.
So what do you think of the concept, though, is having a lot of T-shirts like this for people to pick through and help, keep a gallery going? Because the idea is not everyone's in the market for art, but people can always support art. And if they come into a gallery, don't see what they like, they pick up a shirt that they like, and it just helps keep the doors open.
Yeah, I can see people just coming in just to see what shirts you have. Okay, this is it.
Atari? Did you play Atari?
I did.
What, like the old school one?
The old school one.
Really?
Maze Craze was my favorite.
I loved Maze Craze. What about, did you ever play Kaboom?
Yeah, with the little ball and you had to go back.
Yeah, catch it in the buckets. All right, so that's your shirt. Now you got to bring your shirt back over the table. You got to sign yours.
I got to sign it?
Yeah, because it's going here in the gallery.
Where do I sign it?
Just sign on the front of it. And there's the Sharpie right here.
Well, then this was like the perfect shirt for them.
Totally.
I can't sign on this.
That is the worst signature I've ever seen in my life. What is that? Looks like
It's an S.
someone's gonna. That looks like it's like a bug got smeared.
It does. I can't fix it now, though.
That's okay. And you get a 24-pack of Blink.
That's awesome. I'm stoked.
You haven't used them yet, have you?
I haven't used them yet. I'm going to use them on my first show.